Hello and welcome to the BuiltOnAir podcast. BuiltOnAir is a regular podcast where we talk with everyday people and learn about the amazing things they are doing with Airtable. Today's podcast is sponsored by OpenSide, the leading solutions provider for Airtable customers. Check out openside.com to learn more about their products and services that can take your Airtable usage to the next level. Use promo code BuiltOnAir to receive $20 towards any product purchase. On today's episode, we speak with Andy Wingrave, automation and Airtable enthusiast. Andy's experience comes with over 10 years of digital solutions and problem solving, and apps like Airtable and Zapier have largely informed his work. He is a certified Zapier expert and has even worked with Airtable themselves to develop a use case for the web clipper block, which he displays in one of the many bases he's published to the Airtable Universe. Andy is often found on the Airtable Forums helping others to develop their bases and solve problems. Like many Airtable users, he considers it a fun hobby to design base templates for others to use. He also runs a blog site, Saastronomical, where he's published articles and how-tos on automation. Andy shares a few projects with us today, and it's immediately evident how much care he puts into the organization of his workspaces and bases within. One project of note is his Music Finder base, which shows us how the back end of an app such as Spotify might look if housed within Airtable. A table of events lists possible interactions one might have with an app, such as a song being played, while a table of event properties shows us what we might want to know about that event, such as the artist or the plan the user playing the song belonged to. Learn more about Andy by checking out the show notes for links.
So this is a screen. This is actually my live one, so I won't go too far to the right. But here you'll see. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to give you the background to this, and the reason why I wanted to share it was basically to show how I accidentally created a product that saved me money. Now that's a headline, right?
I wish I could accidentally create a product that would save me money.
That's like a YouTube clickbait title, right? Want to save money accidentally? No, I don't know. There's 100 titles you could use, but this actually genuinely did save me money accidentally. And it was it's a product that doesn't exist. I feel like it should. If somebody comes up with this product, then we've got the recording date. I can be like,
yeah,
I created that. I don't want to create the product, but if somebody's interested in developing the idea, I'm super keen on it because it really did save me money, and that's what you want products to do. You want products to save you time or save you money or give you some happiness probably, and a few other things maybe. But saving time and money are really good examples of good products. So I was bumbling about, and about 2 years ago, maybe about a year and a half ago actually, and I remember Christmas time actually. This is a really an honest to God story. It was Christmas time and I was going to the shops. this is a terrible story. Going to the shops and I have a Creative Cloud license. I forgot all about it, but I needed to buy some presents for my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. On the shops. And on the train, I was like, right, got £500, and I'll buy her a jacket. She really wanted a jacket at the time and stuff like that. And anyway, got off the train and got a message from I got my emails. It's your Creative Cloud license has just renewed, and that'll be £500 or whatever it was, right? I was like, oh, so I've literally got no money to buy my girlfriend a Christmas present, because of my inability to manage my time and my life and know when my subscriptions are coming up. So what I did was 2 months later, after I apologized and bought her something modest and got her something nice at my next pay date, I decided to just shove everything that I own into everything that I pay monthly, everything that I bought ever, licenses, everything into this subscription Airtable base that allows me to categorize things. So upcoming mandatory renewals, I don't have anything. Mm-hmm. But basically I categorize things on a star level. So the priority, as you can see, bartender is not a priority for me, but Keyboard Maestro is like just above that. Like, these are all little productivity tools that I bought, but luckily that's a lifetime license, and that's the lifetime license. So these are all just things that I bought. I hope there's nothing embarrassing in here. I don't think there is. But like, this is just but like, here's the thing, like Alpha is like super high priority. Like, even though I've got a lifetime license, and I bought my lifetime license 3 times from Alfred, because like there's no such thing as a lifetime license, is a fallacy. If you ever think you're buying a lifetime license to something, you're not. They're just going to come back in 3 years and ask you for more money. But Alfred is worth it. They can keep coming back and asking me for more money because they save me so much time. And that's another productivity tool that I'm really keen on. But anyway, here's the base. How this accidentally saved me money was that I created a Zap off of this, and the Zap was really simple. It was just like when like the expiry date, so like when there was a view, so like, yeah, this upcoming not mandatory renewals. So there's filter where, and the key reason it says non-mandatory is like if it's less than 4 stars, right, or 4 stars or less, because if it's 5 stars, I'm going to renew it anyway. I'll probably be aware it's coming out. And if it does come out, it needs to come out because it runs my life or it's really important. But if it's less than 4 stars, I might want to think about it. Now, fast forward 6 months into my life after I built this, after I created the Zap just said, when something comes into this view, send me a text message. And this view is when it's expiring next month. And it sent me a text message. And I had an app, which I won't name, coming up for renewal that I really just hadn't used in about a year. Got a text message and was like, oh my God, I need to cancel that subscription right now. So instead of it auto-renewing, I was able to come in and cancel that renewal straight away, saving me £110 or something, whatever it was. And that's the story of how I accidentally saved money with Airbase, Airtable, and this base here, and yeah, it's still saving me money. Every month I'm getting a text message of like what's coming in, the subscriptions I don't want to renew, because we have so many in 2020. We have so many subscriptions, right? Like,
yeah,
there are just 32 of my active ones, and like when I met my girlfriend, I was a Tinder Premium subscriber. It paid off, but I didn't need that any longer, and I didn't need it. Certainly didn't need it to auto renew as soon as I'd found somebody I wanted to spend a lot more time with. And again, I got a text message to just say, hey, probably don't need your Tinder Premium or Gold or account anymore. Go in and cancel it, and it's just saved me a ton of time. And I really think that it's a good wee accidental product I created.
Yeah, I wish I had done this before. It's happened to me a couple times with services that you only pay once a year, and it's never. I always tend to sign up for services on the most random day possible in the middle of the year with absolutely no connection to when I actually would need that service. So I'll get my bank statement the following month and I'll just be like, oh yeah, that's right, I have this thing I use maybe twice in the year and don't particularly need. So something like this would be very useful. So you have a field for a status called active. So do you keep the ones that you no longer use? I see.
I
that
keep
you
them.
do.
They're in no, but they're probably the embarrassing ones. Let me
You don't have to show us.
Got in there. See what I've got in here in the no section. Can I show you? That's fine. That's fine. All right, we can show you this. So this is the no section. So these are the non-active ones. But what you can see is like online dating, online dating, online dating. So you can see that I was a prolific online dater about 2 or 3 years ago, and at the more I'm very fortunate to have met somebody through that, but ton of subscriptions that you probably don't need anymore after after you get to that stage. So yeah, I do keep them, and they're just in there as a reminder for things that I might might not was. There's like also bills in here as well. So like here's like an old electricity supplier, but like here's the other benefit. Like this is so many benefits in that. Like how many times or like in your life have you like had like an old admin thing that you're like, oh, I need to find a number for that? Like my old gas supplier, like I don't know what it was, but they ever came knocking and were like, you owe us £100 or whatever. I could be like, oh, like it's that account, this is my number, I don't need to like waste a bunch of time on the phone.
Sure.
Like or trying to find paperwork. It's got all of that in here, so it's super useful for me.
Yeah, that's actually great. This is kind of related. I remember I bought my dad some software and we couldn't find the box, so we didn't have the activation code anywhere, and it would have been nice to have somewhere to put it where he would never be able to find it, but I would if I had some place to put it. And I'm amazed I don't have an Airtable for this kind of stuff.
Do it, it'll change your life.
Well, yeah.
Mine.
Of
and
all
like,
the people to not have an Airtable.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I think I'm probably going to have something very similar to this sometime soon to keep track of all the stuff.
The funny thing is, Airtable's not in here, I don't think, which is hilarious. And that's only because I have recommended Airtable to so many people. I think I've got like probably at this stage, if it's only me using my base or my workspace, I think I've probably got around 4 to 5 years of just credits for Airtable from like recommending it to people. And like, I mean, I honestly just like, I've never come, maybe it's because I've worked with so much bad software. I've worked with a lot of really bad software. And maybe it's like, this has helped me solve so many problems across so many different like types of situations that, and it just looks so good, it feels so good, it works. I'm just so like excited by it, and like, and I've now been using it a year and a half, and I've never been that excited about software before, and I think that's an incredible thing for Airtable to have, is like to have these created this thing that's like solving problems, saving people time. People like love using it, I think, or maybe it's just me, but I think people do just love using it.
Well, I would hope they love using it. We've made an entire podcast around
exactly right.
Yeah, so just something that came to mind is I feel like a base like this would also help in a little bit of help tracking your goals, because sometimes you subscribe to a particular service because you have a particular goal in mind, and once you've accomplished that goal, you don't need that service anymore. And being able to change the status from active yes to active no, I think you might get a little bit of, yeah, I did it, it's done, don't need it anymore.
You do, you're right. It's like that little dopamine hit that you're just like, yeah, you're out of my life. Yeah,
exactly. I get all of my dopamine from Airtable. So this was great. I love it. I just want to ask about, you have a field called period, and I see that it's a link to another table. Is there any reason you chose to do that as opposed to like a single select?
Good question. Yes. So I guess like one is like just for grouping the different like records to like know what I've got lifetime, but also like just to even like have a view on like what my monthly ones are. But then also like it allowed me to do a few things. Maybe it didn't. Maybe like what did it allow me to do that I guess I think it's like more just for grouping purposes. Like, do you know what? I probably could have got away without having period being another table, but in this circumstance, I made the aesthetic choice to do it. I think it's primarily aesthetic at this stage, quite honestly.
I'm sure there's a few different ways you could work about it. there's just extra data associated with link fields than there are single select. So I'm sure if you wanted to do something super crazy in the future with this, you could, because of the way you've set it up. I was just curious.
Well, like, I guess like the way that I had it before, or like at least the way that I envisaged it was like a monthly would allow me to like have like the number of like days that would renew, and then be able to run calculations off of that, like so I can actually build this into a proper budget for myself, so like I can start to bring those out into like what's my monthly expenditure, what's my like annual expenditure, all of that kind of stuff, and break it down into that granularity. I haven't got that advanced yet, or I haven't like had enough time. I mean, I think the beauty of it was just the fact that it was so like I didn't need to do an awful lot to create it. Like all I needed to do was just go like through my emails and add all the stuff in, and then like whenever I've got a new subscription, I just add it in using Airtable's web clipper. So that's kind of how I've managed it. But it's been really useful for what it is, but I haven't built it like much further on than just that basic functionality.
And that's okay, because sometimes you don't need something that has 1,000 bells and whistles.
Exactly. Well, I think like I have this problem of like always trying to do everything and boil the ocean instead of like taking things slowly. And this is maybe one of my most successful personal projects that like I just did a small chunk, and maybe I'll add a small chunk if I've got any use for it in the future. But like I got it functional. Like having functionality immediately is far better than trying to be like, I need to create a productivity suite of like everything to do with my subscriptions. Like just having that data in there and running a quick automation off it, like saved me £100, which is and probably even more so since then. So I think like just creating a quick proof of concept is sometimes just enough.
Yeah. It's important not to upsell yourself and constantly trying to get you too stuck in the weeds. The more you focus on the nit and grit of things that might not be super important for this particular project, the less time you have to spend on the actual project itself.
Exactly. Yeah, you couldn't have said it better myself.
Yay. Thank you so much for joining us. This was great. I love that we mentioned Alfred. This is a side, side observation. Yeah, I love Alfred.
I can tell you my best Alfred one is like, I don't know whether you do any web design or web development or like
I
even
used
just
to.
Well, like, so how often do you need like lorem ipsum text, right? That like,
can it do that?
Yeah, and then you're just like, there you go, lorem ipsum, and that's like, it'll immediately kind of populate your clipboard and
you don't understand. I love this app so much. It's beautiful and it's perfect.
Very good.
Thank you so much for being on this podcast. Listeners, now is an excellent time to check all of your subscriptions and make sure that you aren't paying for something that you don't use anymore. Am I correct in saying this is on the Airtable Universe or a version of it?
It is on the Airtable Universe. You can go find it. I think it's under Andy Wingrave, not Saastronomical. So where is it? Airtable Universe. You can cut this out. Oh, I went to the wrong bit. No, that's the wrong place. No. Airtable Universe. And it's my most popular one. I had other ones in there, but I've like got rid of some recently. But this one's been downloaded quite a lot, right? Like 99 times, which is not a huge amount, but yes, you can find it under there. And I guess like if you've got, I can send you this link and you can
we'll put it in the description.
Yeah. So that was, I hope I can save you money. If I have saved you any money, then I'm really happy about that. Like I mean, you don't need to tell me or anything, but if it does end up saving you money, or you need the Zap for it, I can maybe share the Zap for it as well. so that you can put it together. So like you can add your subscriptions in and create a little Zap for you, and then and you've done it all. That's all you need to do. Just wait for the text message of like, hey, do you really need that eHarmony subscription that you bought 2 years ago?
I really love the idea of something working for you just kind of in the background where you don't even have to think about it. You set it up and then it's just, ready and waiting to do what it is that it needs to do.
Exactly.
So yeah, we'll put a link to this on the Airtable Universe in the description of this video. Again, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon.
Thanks, Camille. Thank you very much for having me. And it's been really fun talking to you. And yeah, so appreciate it.
No problem.